Who's good? I'm Spindleak, and it's time for a movie review. It has been a hot minute, but this movie made me feel like doing it. It's Das Boot. Yeah, no. I think it's a 1981 film revolving around a crew of German soldiers in World War II in a Type 7 U boat, I believe. So let's get the elephant out of the room. Don't care about Nazis. Movie's not about Nazis. It's about a boat and a crew. Yes, they're German. Yes, it's World War II. The only mention of Hitler is really to bitch about them. The only mention of the war in general is missions and orders. Let's forget about all that. This is a war movie, a nautical film, and a survival film all wrapped up in one. Over the course of the movie, the crew has to suffer through and survive long stretches of boredom, very detail oriented and fucking terrifying combat, and other adversities that I'm not really gonna get into right now because it would spoil some aspects of the movie. But the way that they overcome these problems and how hard they have to work to actually move forward and try to get back home. Yes, I know what home is at that point in time. Like I said, elephant out of the room. We know its name, we know its weight, we know the color of its flesh, we know its favorite type of peanut. Doesn't reflect on this movie, okay? Just getting that out there. In all honesty, there were large portions where I actually forgot what the crew was supposed to be doing. And that's really not a bad sign with a movie like this. That means I showed enough personal investment in the characters and their struggles overall to completely ignore any personal bias or sense of morality to be appalled by some aspects of the movie that weren't shown, that were more uh, there in my subconscious. But I was genuinely invested in the crews. I love cinema because you're able to root for monsters and it doesn't have any negative effect on you. You can forget that they represent something horrific and you can get invested in their struggles and embroiled in the plot and just fall in love with each individual aspect without any deep personal repercussions or any long-term effects. You are there simply to be entertained, and this movie definitely delivered beyond the shadow of a doubt. Even now, I'm still thinking about specific scenes in the movie, small things that are running through my head, and the impact overall. It was a fantastic film, and I deeply recommend it. The entire setup, they're in a fucking submarine. It was claustrophobic. It was rough. Even aspects of manning the submarine and things that they would do in battle, you're not really told about. You pick up on it through watching, like how the crew would shift if they didn't have bow position or anywhere to be. They would shift from one end of the U-boat to the other in order to counterbalance it whenever it's sinking or rising to keep it stable. Small details like that really seep in and take hold. And the internal conflicts, not really between crewmates, but with individual crew members and the things that they were having to face, their own personal struggles and stories that they never really talked about, but that you catch hints of, it lingers. You keep thinking about it. And even if they don't talk about it, you feel this emotional investment because you can pull away from what's going on. You can somehow feel it without them ever mentioning it. And yes, if you don't want to watch the movie in English, there is a language barrier, but thank fuck for subtitles. I was still able to enjoy it. And there were some points in the film where I completely forgot they were speaking German, completely forgot that I was reading, and it literally just sounded like they were reading off their lines as per usual, as they would if it was in a language that I could completely understand. Just another little thing that makes me appreciate this movie. Sometimes I talk about behind the scenes stuff, sometimes I don't. In order to get a lot of the pale lighting and get a feel of seasickness captured in the boat itself, a lot of times the crew during filming would go on some mildly long, I belched, my bad, some mildly lengthy sea excursions just to capture those effects. So there was a nice level of dedication to the film overall. The cinematography, the acting, it was all on point. This one's getting 5 potatoes for me. Have you seen this film? What were your thoughts on it? I know I didn't really talk too much in depth about a lot of the stuff that I usually would, but the movie really speaks for itself. Definitely check it out whenever you get the chance. Like, comment, subscribe, keep on keeping on, and I will see you in the next one.